Hello viewers, this is K. Michael of the Mike May Finance and Figures YouTube channel. You are welcome to today's presentation. This presentation is a continuation from the previous video. Remember that in the previous video, we stopped at example 2 on solving problems under ratio. But today we are looking at example 3. So let's go. Example 3 is saying the ratio of kids to adults at a party is 3:5. Now, if there are 26 more adults than kids, then how many kids are at the party? You see, if there are 26 more adults at the party, how many kids are at the party? Now, let's say solution. Now, I want you to remember that the ratio of kids to adults is 3:5. So, let's bring it kids to adults is 3:5. Okay, now let's say let number of kids at the party be X. So can we form a ratio of the number of kids to the number of adults? But before that, I want you to understand that it is given here if there are 26 more adults than kids, which means if the number of kids is X and there are 26 more adults than kids, as indicated here, if there are 26 more adults than kids, then the number of adults at the party will be the number of kids plus 26. You see, 26 more, it's plus 26 more adults, which means the number of adults at the party is 26 more than the number of kids. So we can form a ratio with this. Let's form a ratio. So by forming a ratio, we can have the number of kids X to the number of adults X plus 26. And remember, the ratio of kids to adults is 3:5. So we can equate this ratio to this. Okay? So equate the ratios. How do you do that? Now, 3:5 should be equated to X plus 26. Fine. Don't forget we can form a fraction using these ratios. So the first one is 3/5, and this should be X over X plus 26. Remember, at this juncture, I can cross multiply. Okay? So I'll use my 5 and multiply by X, which gives me 5X. And I'll use my 3, this, multiply by, let's put them in a bracket, X plus 26. Okay? So we maintain our 5X, and then we clear the bracket. We want to multiply every factor inside the bracket by the outside number 3. So 3 multiplied by x is 3x. plus 3 multiplied by 26. This is how we do it. 3 times 6 is 18, put 8, carry 1. And 3 times 2 is 6 plus the 1, 7. So 3 times 26 is 78. Now, can we collect like terms? There is x here, there is x here. And which means these are like terms. Let's put them on one side of the equation. So let's maintain 5x here. And 3x is coming over. Remember, it's having here a plus sign, though it's not indicated, but mathematical minds will tell you that this 3x has a positive sign. So crossing an equal to sign will eventually change it to a negative sign. Okay, so the sign becomes negative. So negative 3x equals to 78 here. So if we take out 3x from 5x x's, then we'll surely have 2 x's remaining. Then we equate to 78. Now if you want the value of x, you should be able to divide both sides by 2. Okay, so this 2 and this 2 will cancel each other and we are left with x. So if we divide 78 by 2, I am sure you will agree with me that it is 39. Now, we have gotten the value of x as 39, but what is representing x? We are told that we should let number of keys to be x. And what are we asked to find? We are asked to find, you see, then how many kids are at the party. So since we have represented x to be the number of kids, and now that we have x to be 39, we say therefore the number, let's say the number of kids at the party is 39. Okay, so the number of kids at the party is 39. Fine. So can we observe another example? Yes, example 4. In example 4, we are told that the ratio of apples, oranges, and bananas is 4 to 5 to 6. Now, if there are 30 oranges, find the number of apples and bananas. You see, we have been given only the number of oranges, which is 30. So our task is to find the number of apples and oranges. Sorry, and bananas. Okay, so let's get it done. Solution. Now, what I want you to do in the first place is that you first of all have to bring the ratios. The ratio is 4 to 5 to 6. Can we find the total ratio? Let's say total. The total is 4 plus 5 and plus 6, which should give us 15, I guess. Good. Now, remember, in that order, the ratio of apples, which means 4 is O. A, because apple, let's indicate A, because apple starts with the letter A. Okay? And oranges, 5 should represent the oranges, and bananas, so 6, that represent B. So O is for oranges, B is for bananas. Good. So now we have gotten the total ratio as 15. So can we also, the question does not give us, you see, can we let the total oranges shared, sorry, the total fruit, that is, when we add apple, oranges, and bananas, the total, can we say, let total fruits be x. So if total fruit is x, you should be able to understand that it is out of this x, when we worked it out, we got 30 oranges. When we use the ratio for oranges, 5, and divide by the total ratio, we multiply by x, the total number of fruits, that gave us 30. How are we going to work it out? So let's say number of oranges is 30. This we can get by dividing the ratio of oranges by the total ratio, and we multiply by the total number of fruits x, and that gave us the number of oranges 30. So can we multiply 5 and x, which will eventually give us 5x. So we now have 5x upon 15 to be equal to 30. I am taking my time so that beginners can understand exactly what I'm doing. So here, can you complete fraction? Remember that when two fractions are on opposite sides of an equal to sign, the rule said we should cross multiply, and this is what I'm going to do. So we say 1 multiplied by 5x is 5x, and 15 times 30, I guess, is 450. How did I know? It's by multiplying 15 by 3, which is 45, and I added my 0. So I now have 5x equals to 450. If I want x, I should divide both sides by 5, both sides by 5. That's so. So at this point, I will cancel 5 both at the top and the bottom, and I'm left with x. Then if I check how many 5s are in 45, I should get 9. So I'll get my 9 and I'll add my 0, which is 90. So I now have my x, but what did we say x should represent? Let total fruits be x. So we now have total number of fruits shared, or the total number of fruits is x. That is, when we added the number of apples, the number of oranges, and the number of bananas, we have 90. So the question is asking us to find the number of apples and bananas. So let's continue. Number of apples. Number of apples. Remember, you are using A, the corresponding ratio, which is 4, and you divide by the total number of ratio, which is 15, and then you multiply by the total number of fruits, which is 90. If you check out how many times can 15 go into 90, you observe and agree with me that it is 6 times. So we now have 4 here times 6. Definitely the number of apples is 24. Okay? Then number of bananas. Remember, B is representing bananas and the corresponding ratio is 6. So number of bananas, we're using the corresponding ratio 6, and we divide by the total ratio 15, and we are multiplying by the total number of fruits 90. So 15 into itself is 1, and into 90 is 6. So we have 6 multiplied by 6, that gives us 36. Okay, so we observe that the number of bananas is 36, the number of apples is 24, and the number of oranges is 30. So can we prove that? Let's say proof. Okay, let's prove it. Proof: number of apples plus number of oranges plus number of bananas should be equal to 90. What is number of apples as given, or as we have found here? The number of apples as we have found is 24. So 24 plus oranges, number of oranges as given in the question is 30. So plus 30 and plus B, which is bananas. As we have worked for bananas here, the number of bananas is 36. So plus 36. If you add all this, you should be able to get 90. This is to validate our answer. You should be able to get 90, and it is to prove our answer. So thank you very much for being with me this far, and sure, we are going to observe few more examples, like 2 more in the next video, and I want you to keep going with me and you get to learn a lot. Thank you once again. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share to your loved ones. You have a lot of people who are in need of this stuff. Share to them. God bless you as you do.